Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We're talking a really interesting topic right now, coding in elementary school. Who knew that there was such a thing? We have Kara, Kim, and Mike here from the Park City Education Foundation and teachers who are actually teaching the coding programs in our elementary schools. How are you guys this morning?
We're great.
Good, thanks.
Good, how are you?
I'm excited to learn about this. I read in some of your notes that this is one of the programs out of a handful in the entire country?
Correct.
Okay, so why did Park City decide that this was important?
Well, I mean, coding is a skill for the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it teaches critical thinking, teaches collaboration, communication, creativity, that our world is a new landscape than, you know, when you and I were, well, really since all of us were in school.
No, me too, I'm included. Yeah. I did not code until college.
And that it's just, you know, giving kids those skills that they're going to need, you know, once they're out in the workforce. And it's a pretty innovative, very cool program here in Park City.
Okay, so we're talking elementary school kids. What ages?
Kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade.
Kindergarten. How do you teach a 5-year-old to code?
Actually, they're really good at it. They pick it up so fast. We actually start as like kind of an exposure in kindergarten, and we use robots, which is exciting for them. So we bring in robots and we tie it to the curriculum. So they're doing things like adding using our Bebot robots or sequencing stories, and they're learning kind of like the basics of coding, like how to sequence commands and use algorithms to complete a task. So it's really fun.
How does coding correlate? I mean, kindergartners are learning to read, to write, so now they're also learning to write coding, which is like another language. Is it just kind of like teaching a language, almost?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Jobs once said that it's the new literacy.
It's true.
And yeah, I mean, it really is true. If a person knows how to code, they know another language, right?
And if they're learning it from 5 years old, I'm sure they'll speak it just as well they speak English, which is what we want from these kids, right? So robots, you're saying starting sequences and creating stories. What does that mean?
So a lot of times what we'll do is I'll take a story and we'll read it together, and they learn to sequence the events in the story. And then we've got little mats, and I'll create little cards of the events in the story. And the students have to talk it over, like, well, what happened first in the story and what happened in the middle? And then they're laying it out, and they send their little Bebot through the story again. So it's like retelling the story in order. So it reinforces what they're doing in the classroom.
I feel like that's got to really mean that they're advanced kids. All right, and Mike, what ages do you teach?
The same thing. So all elementaries get K through 5 coding. This year we're now K5. It started as a pilot in 1st grade 4 years ago. And so it's exciting to have every student in all elementaries in Park City having the opportunity to code.
So you say we're 4 years into this. Have you kind of figured out the ways? I mean, have you worked out the kinks and everything like that at this point?
It's evolving. Mm-hmm. You know, just the curriculum. I mean, when we started this 4 years ago, we really were one of the only elementaries in the whole country that were doing something like this, and such an exposure that we were doing. You know, there's a program called Hour of Code that a lot of different elementaries across the country have done, but it was an exposure kind of one time, 1 hour for the year, and we were teaching, you know, starting that first year, 1st grade, every single week.
Really?
And so it was new, and because it was so new, we had to create the curriculum from scratch, basically. And there were a lot of programs that we could kind of piece together, but as, you know, now we're in 4 years, more and more programs, more and more districts across the country are doing it. So that means there's more and more programs that are, you know, being created by different businesses. So we have a lot of programs to choose from now, but we still feel like the way we've structured it, piecing together different programs, gives more opportunities for students to create, which is what coding is all about.
And I'm assuming, Kim and Mike, you have backgrounds in coding, especially. No?
No.
No? So tell me your backgrounds then.
I was a classroom teacher, so I've taught 5th, 4th, and 3rd grade. So I became the technology instructional coach, and Mike was the technology instruction coach, and it came to us as a pilot, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this.
We're going to figure this out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, computer science wasn't a focus, but we were, you know, technology instructional coaches, like Kim said. So we had technology backgrounds, But
Just
yeah,
not
we kind of
Right.
we took this on at the elementary level, kind of increasing our knowledge or content knowledge base.
Yeah, you're
as
learning
well.
as they are. For
Yeah.
sure.
Still.
Yeah, today.
Well, and I just want to, you know, they're not certainly not going to toot their own horns, but I'm going to toot for them.
You could toot it.
That I love that we're talking about tooting on a Tuesday morning.
Yes.
But that that they really did have to take a curriculum from scratch and put it together, and just the amount of work and dedication and creativity that went into that is amazing. These are some of the greatest teachers in a district full of amazing teachers. So it is pretty amazing what they have put together, on their own, really.
Totally. Totally. That's awesome for you guys. Well, Kara, what is the expectation for programs in the future? I mean, is this something that kids are expected to continue to do throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school at Park City?
Correct. We're actually part of a group in Park City School District that is working on the vertical alignment. So essentially, once these kiddos hit Ecker Hill, then moving through Treasure all the way up to the high school, making sure that they have the classes and opportunities. They're going to be at their skill level, which is going to be quite advanced
Totally.
compared to the past. So, and this is a long-term commitment for the Education Foundation. This is something that we believe in and that we want to continue to fund.
Well, very cool. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining us today.
Thanks
One
for
of
having
a
us.
handful of programs in the entire country, and they're here at Park City, all throughout elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. Very cool. Well, Kara, Kim, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you guys again soon.
Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.